my beautiful YouTube friends. Letty here, Living Life with Letty. Welcome to my channel. And if you're new, I hope that you will stay. And if you're so inclined, please subscribe. In this video, I am going to be talking to three very, very lovely young people who are being homeschooled. And I always wondered about homeschooling because I have never met anybody who's been homeschooled. So I asked them a lot of questions, and they were so nice and so accommodating. So I want you to listen to them because it's wonderful how kids that are on the road and being homeschooled, how they just flourish, because they have so much exposure. So come along with me and let's talk to these three beautiful young people. So hi, Cole. Everyone, this is Cole, the oldest one in the family, the oldest child in the family. And your mom told me that you guys get homeschooled, and that's very interesting. And so I'm going to ask you several questions about homeschooling. So one of them would be, what are you learning right now?
Well, currently I'm learning about programming. So I like to use programming to, make different things appear on the computer. Is a very simple way of putting that. The other thing I'm learning is about the amendments and how we're using that today in government. Mm-hmm.
That is so important. I am so glad that you're learning that. So are you also learning traditional subjects like math, English, history, whatever they teach in regular schools? What are you learning right now in those subjects?
Well, currently in math, I'm learning about calculus.
Wow.
Yeah, we're taking a program called CTC Math. Mm-hmm. Previously, we used Key 2. We no longer use that anymore, but they're all very good at homeschooling. Mm-hmm.
That is wonderful. And for your age to be doing calculus, I think that's really impressive. Okay, so my next question is going to be, I know, your mom told me that you guys have traveled all over the United States. So can you tell me what have been your favorite places and what have you learned from them?
Well, one of the places that I really like is DC. It's a great city. Mm-hmm. I sometimes have gone there by myself and just explored the place. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite places there was the archives, and I got to see the Declaration of Independence, where one of our ancestors, Roger Sherman, signed it.
Wow, that is really neat that you are, part of the history. That is wonderful. So what else in DC?
Well, there was the Air and Space Museum, which I really like airplanes and that sort of thing. So it was the history from the beginning to the end. Mm-hmm.
And what other places other than DC?
Well, there's Yellowstone.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. That's one of my favorite places too.
Oh yeah. It's just great, big, just unmessed with land. And
did you go anywhere in Yellowstone that you remember?
Oh yeah, one of the places that I remember quite vaguely was the mud pits.
Oh yeah.
The little pools that bubbled and it looked like hot chocolate actually.
Yeah. And can you go in those or?
Oh no. It's like hundreds of degrees.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That would. So what would you say that your life in homeschooling is more beneficial to you than if you were in a classroom?
Well, I would say yes, and one of the reasons is that I was not very good at geography before then.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people who stay in their city and don't travel around don't really know about where the states are.
Right.
In position of the country. Also, one of the things that I did not know I would learn a lot of is history. Whenever you go to new places, you find out the history of that area.
Right. So I think you're getting an awesome education by being, exposed to so many different landscapes, states, so much history. I think it's wonderful. Okay, so I'm sitting here with Camille. Camille's a middle child. of the Sherman group that are being homeschooled. And so, Camille, I want to ask you a couple of questions about your homeschooling. What are you learning right now?
Well, I'm learning all the basic things like math. I'm on pre-algebra. I do numerous different programs of math. Like right now I'm on CTC, but I've done Prodigy, Life of Fred.
Explain Life of Fred to me.
Life of Fred is like a novel series where it learns math through talking about things in real life.
Wow, so it's like novels that you're reading, but math. That is, I had never heard of that. That is really, really interesting. Okay, and so right now you're in pre-algebra, and that's really impressive too for your age. That's wonderful. Tell me, your mom told me that you guys travel all over the United States. So tell me, what are your favorite places that you've been to, and what have you learned from those places?
Well, I have quite a few, but one of them is Carlsbad Caverns.
Mm-hmm.
There are many different formations of rocks, like stalagmites, stalactites, popcorns, which are little rocks that cling to things.
Mm-hmm.
There are drapes, which basically look like curtains.
Yeah.
And then they give you a tour, and that goes by the Rock of Many Lanes, where people stub their toe and hit their head and give the rock a new name.
Yeah. I've been there. And what other places?
Well, there's the Sonoran Desert Museum, which has many, many animals and everything. The rule with that is every animal has to live in the Sonoran Desert if it's to be in that museum.
Right.
And one of the things that I commented on were the stingray, because it's a desert.
Right.
But part of the Sonoran Desert is the Gulf of Mexico.
Right.
And a lot of stingrays live in it.
Right.
So there's a whole touch tank of stingrays.
And I heard that you love animals.
Yeah.
And you want to be a dog trainer.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So you want to be a dog trainer?
Yep.
And so what are you doing to prepare yourself for that?
Well, in all my spare time, I do research for it, and research on dog behaviors, how to train them, and how to train even the most difficult of dogs.
That's great. And I noticed that you've been practicing with Shelly's dogs.
Yeah.
Have you made any progress?
Well, Oliver knows how to sit, and Georgie knows how to sit and lie down. Good boy. Good boy. Good gentle. Lie down. Sit. No. Good. Good girl.
Good.
Sometimes Oliver refuses to sit, but
Yeah, Oliver is a little stubborn.
but if you have his favorite treat, he'll
Yeah.
sit.
Well, that would be a wonderful profession. I think I love dogs too, so I think and if it's something that you love, it would be wonderful for you to do that. What other subjects do you do while you're homeschooling?
Well, there's history, math, creative writing, essay writing, worldly wise, natural history, things like that.
Wow. And are you doing any writing right now?
Yes, I'm writing a book called Only When Least Expected, and I'm thinking about writing one about a Komodo dragon.
What kind of dragon?
A Komodo dragon.
A
They're
Komodo dragon.
big lizards that are like 10 feet long.
Oh, okay.
Biggest lizards in the world.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful to have all these goals at such a young age. I think it is absolutely wonderful. And what other so you said creative writing, history, and science, I'm sure. Yeah. So you guys are covering pretty much everything that you would learn in a school, plus more. I mean, plus a lot of added value because of the traveling. I think that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Camille, for giving me your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, so here I am now with Serena, the youngest one of the Sherman clan, who are homeschooled, and so I want to ask you a couple of questions about your homeschooling. What are you learning right now?
Well, I'm learning a book called Worldly Wise, which teaches you about words. There's a whole list of words. There's sometimes oldish words, and they talk about the derivation and like the end. And you use problems with the words, and then like there's a essay, and you have to use the words in the essay. Like they have them in the essay, and then you have to write them.
That's really good. Yeah.
I'm doing creative writing. I'm writing 3 books.
You're writing 3 books. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I haven't wrote 2 of them in a while, but I'm starting a new one.
Yeah, that's great. That is really good. And what about history?
Oh, on history, I'm learning a lot about George Washington, and I've been doing a lot of essays about them.
And different presidents too, or
Yeah.
just?
I've done all the presidents.
Oh wow, that's great. And
Well,
also the
yeah.
states.
Yeah.
'Cause
I learned a lot about the states, and on the Capitol buildings, I learned so much about why they're different on the Capitol buildings. Like there was a huge golden man on top of them, and it talked about how they built that, and it was really fun to learn.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's really interesting. And so now let me ask you about your travels, because I know you've been all over the United States. What are your favorite places that you've been to, and what have you learned from them?
Well, I really like Williamsburg. Williamsburg is like bringing you back to the colonial times, and I've learned a lot about that, like the Smiths, how to make a book. Like I learned like you put the 2 binders together with twine, and then like I learned how long it takes, about like a day or 2, and it's really fun to learn because then you can ask all the questions.
That's great. And so where else other than Williamsburg?
I really like the redwoods.
The redwoods.
The
Yeah.
redwoods, it feels like you're an ant in the giant trees,
Yes.
and it's so big.
Yeah, I love the redwoods too.
Yeah.
And so you like being homeschooled? Yeah. I think that it's such a good thing to do. And do you feel like you're learning more with your travels than you would sitting in a classroom?
Yeah, because you can explore more.
Yes.
Not like just in one little state, you can go to like maybe the museum 10 times.
Right, right.
Like you can go to like 50 museums.
Exactly.
And like maybe like 10 states.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to move.
Right. So you're being exposed to so much. You're learning a lot. Well, thank you so much, Serena, for your time and for answering the questions. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the little conversation with the kids. And again, thank you so much for watching and for coming to my channel, and all the new subscribers. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. So until then, my friends, may the sun shine on you today and every day, especially on your solar panels. I love you all. Bye-bye.